In today's episode of the Infinity Loop Podcast, we are joined by Travis Riley.
Travis is a real estate agent with RE/MAX Destination and has been in the business for over 20 years.
And in today's episode, we are going to answer the question, is 2025 a good time to buy? Welcome to the Infinity Loop Podcast. We are joined here with Travis Riley. He has been in the real estate game for about over 20 years.
Right.
So first of all, thank you so much for coming on our show here.
No problem. It's great.
Yeah,
it's great. I'm excited.
We're trying to get this off the ground, and we're doing, working hard at it. So we appreciate any guest taking time to come on.
Yeah.
But let's jump right into it. So we spoke a little bit off camera about this, but how did you exactly get involved with real estate?
I have, since high school, I've been involved with real estate in some aspect. I was telling you in high school, my favorite course was building trades. I loved getting in there. I'm an antsy guy. I don't like to sit long. I like to be doing something with my hands. So I found that I loved building trades. And in high school, we built 4 houses.
That's great.
Wow,
And and I got to learn so much, everything from just the foundation to the everything. I mean, literally everything. We did everything: shingling, drywall, laying bricks, like everything.
That's
you
crazy.
Could think of.
And you said sophomore year you started?
We started it in sophomore year.
Wow.
And I loved it so much that when I got out of high school, I went to Flint Hills Tech. I'm from Kansas, so I went to Flint Hills Tech College out in Emporia, Kansas, for construction technology, where we built a couple houses there and also did some cabinet making.
That's cool.
Yeah, wow.
That took me some fun places. We did some cabinet making competitions.
That's
which
cool.
were kind of fun. We went to
That's really
Colorado, to Frisco, Colorado, to do that, and it was a lot of fun. But from there, then my life took me to Oklahoma, Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Nice.
And I was doing and I was doing some construction there and built a couple houses with a contractor there.
Nice.
Enjoyed it. But then I befriended the county assessor at Muskogee County, and I started doing field appraisals for tax purposes in Muskogee County. So I would be the one traveling around greeting you, asking, hey, it looks like you added on to your house. Can I measure that for tax purposes? And no one really liked to see me.
That's not
You're the one they wanted to run away from.
In backwoods Oklahoma, you would meet a few people that
don't answer the door.
Care for you.
That's funny.
And then my job also was keeping track of all the mobile homes in Muskogee County. So I literally would track them down.
There's a lot of mobile homes out there.
A lot of mobile homes in
Oklahoma.
And people, I was telling you earlier, you would get, so-and-so that owns this 1970 some odd mobile home that has been in this field that his daughter's living in, but he decided to trade it for a pickup the week before, crazy. And it would get drugged down the road to another, 5-acre plot or whatever, and trying to keep up with him was always a lot of fun.
Trying to chase them around town.
So I did that, and until
awesome.
I did that for about 4 years, and it was
This
fun.
was right out of high school?
This was right after. It was about 2 years after I graduated Flint Hills Tech College.
Okay, the Tech College. Okay.
So I started there in 2001 because it was soon after 9/11. I remember. I started there and did that, and then in 2005, I believe it was, I left Oklahoma and went to Joplin, Missouri, to Ozark Christian College. I've always had a passion for ministry and serving
That's
in
awesome.
that way. So I went there, and while I was there, though, I was working at a title company. Abbey Title Company.
Nice.
I don't think it's called that anymore. But
This was in Oklahoma?
This was in Joplin, Missouri. Joplin, Missouri sits down in the southwest corner
Traveled a lot,
of Missouri.
yes.
On top of everything, you traveled throughout the whole Midwest.
So learned a lot there, but I was working at a title company. The job was to look. They were transferring. This was like in 05. Okay. They were transferring all their files to digital. So we were saving them to the CDs. And I was learning so much about reading legal descriptions and everything more there. I mean, I'd learned a lot at the county in Oklahoma.
Right, but
I was
typing
just learning
in,
more,
you're
typing
learning
in and
it,
everything.
right, you're remembering.
And after me and there were a couple other students that were doing it, and after we completed all that, they asked if I'd like to stay on with them and learn the whole title search process, closing process, all that. So that's what I was doing until I met my wife. And then my wife, we've been married 17 years, together 18.
Wow.
And I met her and we got married pretty quickly. But
Love at first sight?
It was, you know what? It was love at first conversation.
There you go.
I'll say that. I just knew.
Right.
I just knew.
Yeah.
But we started talking and whatnot, and I ended up. She had just graduated from Texas Tech out in Lubbock, Texas, and she was in grad school and living in Frisco, Texas.
Nice.
And we started a long distance relationship. Honestly, it was a few months into the relationship I proposed to her, and we got married 6 months.
Wow.
And
Where'd you get married at?
we got married in Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
Not,
If you ever have
like Midwest.
spare time, if you ever have
Check it
spare
out.
time, they call it one of the top 10 industrial wonders of the world.
Wow.
It's a glass chapel in
Okay.
Eureka Springs, Arkansas. If you
Okay.
just Google glass chapel, it's called the Thorn Crown Chapel, I believe.
Okay.
Beautiful chapel.
Oh, wow.
And we were planning this big wedding, and this is totally getting off real estate.
It's
we
okay,
were
it's
planning
okay,
this
it's
big
about
wedding,
you.
and we just decided, it's like, man, this has just become a headache. Talked to my father-in-law, and we were like, look, this is just, it's costing a lot of money, and really we just want to be married. So we decided we're just going to get immediate family together, and a pastor friend of mine who's a mentor of mine, he came from Muskogee. We all met in Eureka Springs.
Small little
at
wedding.
this chapel
Just did
and
it.
got married.
Beautiful
And,
chapel, small.
Yeah. And,
Intimate.
out in the Ozarks, out in the middle of the woods.
Okay.
It was great.
Wow.
And,
Nice. They're
got
very
married,
cool.
and soon after we got married, we decided, you know what? Why are we living in Missouri? Why don't we go to Florida? And so
There you go.
we
Florida.
came here, and I was actually doing some property management and leasing apartments, managing whatnot. Did that for 2 years. And then we decided to go back up to Kansas, up to my hometown, Iola, Kansas.
Somehow you always make it back home.
You always end up back home.
Right.
It's funny. So we went there, and I was serving with the church there as an associate pastor, and then I was on top of that, I was working at my hometown bank, Community National Bank and Trust, and I was a consumer loan officer. So I was doing car loans, whatnot, but also doing real estate,
Okay.
loan origination,
Right.
whatnot. So I was doing that, getting my feet wet on that side of it. And we did that for 4 years until we came back to Florida. And we've been here since 2014 now.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Okay.
With no plans of ever going anywhere else.
In like
Right.
Fort Myers
Yes,
area?
in
Okay.
Fort Myers area.
Okay.
So, and I've been since then literally just selling real estate, managing our Remax office, helping train the agents, recruit them, whatnot.
Right.
So that's
You know
been-
everything from the very beginning of a
that's
house,
crazy.
all
So
the way through to
it's
the
always
end.
been somehow tied around real estate.
Right.
Yeah,
My whole
that's-
career.
You've been
Like,
to
so
every
cool.
single department, right?
Exactly.
Title, finance,
Yeah.
Right.
and the real estate side.
Yes.
And building side. too.
Yes.
Yeah, everything.
It's incredible.
And I still
It's a
love
lot of knowledge.
I'm glad I don't do it full time, but I still love to just tinker around, like build things and whatnot, do remodel projects in my house, that type of stuff. So
Yeah. So you're still hands-on.
yeah.
With hammer and
If
nails.
I have the mindset that I don't want to pay someone for something I know
That
I
you
could
can do,
even if
right.
it takes me a little longer. I
Right.
just
Right.
I agree.
Jump
That's a
into
great
it.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great way to do it.
That's incredible, dude. And you know, so you've basically been doing real estate in all aspects since, you know,
graduated
Since high
in
school.
98. So
Yeah.
since
What was that, 16 years old? 16, 15,
yeah,
16?
Yeah, I was probably like, I wasn't even driving yet when I started building trades.
Wow.
So I was probably like 15 or so.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
It's all-
You also have a family.
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
We have 4 kids.
Okay. Wow.
So really, my favorite pastime is being with my family. If I'm not here at the office, or I'm not out showing properties or out doing
Right.
some aspect of this job, I'm with my family.
Nice.
That's just
How old are they?
oldest is 15,
Okay.
Then I have a 13-year-old. That's both my boys. Then we have a daughter who's 10 and a daughter who is 4, just turned 4 a couple days ago.
Wow.
So, yeah, we
That's
have
awesome.
a family
A lot
of 4,
going on.
and it keeps us busy.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
They all were born in Fort Myers?
No, all of them, with the exception of my second oldest. He was born in Overland Park, Kansas,
Okay.
which is right north of my hometown. It's basically a suburb of Kansas City.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's my one Kansan. So everyone else is Floridians. So,
Floridian.
yeah. So
I love that. So I have a couple questions where it kind of goes into real estate and all that. And so kick it off with, who do you typically work with? Do you work with first-time home buyers, investors, sellers?
mainly investors.
Okay.
And sellers. I do a lot of listings and whatnot, but I have a lot of investors that I work with, also who, own condos, single family homes, whatnot.
Okay.
Help them purchase new ones and then help them sell when the time's right.
Okay.
A lot of those are Canadian investors who,
Okay, yeah. It's a big market.
right now we've been selling a lot of their properties. One, because the Canadian dollar versus the US dollar, it just makes sense for them.
Right.
And then with just the current economy and whatnot, it makes sense. So we've been doing a lot of selling of a lot of their properties as of late.
That's cool.
But yeah.
What are they, when they're buying investment properties, what is the main thing you're seeing that they're doing? Like Airbnbs, rentals? Are they living
Honestly, the ones I work with have been rentals.
Rentals?
Yeah.
Wow.
Annual lease rentals.
Are you also helping them find people like that? Because I know some agents do that where they list them and they're like, oh, this is for rent, and you help them find. Is that something?
I don't help them. I refer all those
Okay.
to a sister company.
Okay.
I just try to stay out of the leasing aspect of it.
Yeah, right.
I
Strictly
know
just
enough
selling and
to.
buying.
It's just enough to probably get myself in trouble. So give it to an expert.
Right.
So yeah, I deal strictly with just the sales.
Because you have a little bit of background on the leasing side.
Absolutely,
too.
I
Yeah,
do.
right.
I do. But it's been just long enough. It was just leasing apartments, basically.
Okay.
But it's not that I can't do it. I just will refer.
Prefer
those.
not to.
Yeah, prefer not to. Yeah. Kind of the topic of this podcast is 2025 a good time to buy right now?
Yeah.
It is? Would you say?
I think so.
I
Because
agree.
I've got so many. I mean, get me on a soapbox here.
Yeah.
This is what it's for.
This is what we're seeing. It's like I said, I deal with a lot of investors, and when you're going to list their properties, it's like so many of them, I think, have a sour taste in their mouth that they missed out on the opportunity they could have had in like 2021, 2022, when they could have sold for more when the market was different then. It was a seller's market.
Right.
But the current buyer's market, you still get a lot of owners that are trying to list the property too high, and it just sits there.
Because they think that's the value of their home,
Yes.
and they're so emotionally attached to
Absolutely.
it. And they're
Absolutely.
forcing some agents to list them where they shouldn't be, and sometimes the agent can't even.
Yep.
Okay.
And
then they learn their lesson later when they lower it, and then it sells.
Yeah,
Right,
Yeah,
right,
no,
right.
actually, one of our agents was just visiting with me just earlier this week. I think it was Monday, and it was one that she had a listing that she went to the listing appointment, told him what he should list at. He was like, "I think you're 100,000 too much," but she wasn't. She was right where it needed to be, because I remember looking at it with her as far as their evaluation. And she circled back around a few days ago, and he was like, "Well, we've decided to list with so and so," and he decided to go and list it at the lower price after.
She had already talked to them.
Yeah,
about doing
it's just
it,
that frustrating thing. But
Right.
either way,
I know that
so
happens
you're
a lot.
seeing that aspect. But now's a good time to buy, yes, because we are in that buyer's market, and while the rates may not be what they were a few years ago,
Right.
the home prices are better,
Right.
than
and you
it
can get
was.
a better
Right.
deal.
And you have a
Right.
lot of buying or negotiating power
Yeah.
right now, while the sellers
Exactly.
are trying to get the sale done, and the buyers are saying, "Hey, well, I need to just give you an offer that I can
Yep.
is in my budget." And a lot of people are doing that, and they're already starting off with a bunch of equity right from the get go.
Right.
Absolutely,
Right.
because the moment those rates start trickling down even more,
The home
prices
price-
are going to go up,
now
and then
this-
you're going to be
yeah.
like, well, I'm waiting on the home prices to come down. It's just that
You're
And then
always
you're
gonna
just
be
kind of waiting. You
Just
keep
jump in.
waiting for
It's
what?
just like when people say we're waiting for the rates to come down. Well, you'll be waiting for a while.
Yep.
You know,
You will be.
and maybe it might not happen.
Well,
next
the rates
year.
are going to come down.
They are, yes.
But again, like Travis said, that when the rates start to come down, that's when the home prices you start seeing
Yep.
creep up, because now there's more buyers in the market,
Mm-hmm.
and now the sellers are saying, oh well, it could be a bidding war
Yeah.
here. Who
Right.
knows? Yeah.
'Cause I think I saw, and I'm going to get the numbers wrong, so I'm not even going to quote the numbers because I'll have it wrong. But
Yeah.
there was a stat that came out a couple weeks ago that National Association of Realtors put out that if the rates drop just like 0.5%, it's
Yes.
like, I can't remember how many.
It was
like
60 million or 6 million. I think
It was something
6
like
million.
that. It was like 6 million or
'Cause-
something. Buyers will come into the market, so that's just more competition for you.
For
on
you,
those
right.
Listings of the home that you might like.
Yep.
So marry that home. You could always refinance.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
they the saying is you marry the home and you date the rate.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like when people.
A
say
lot of
that.
people don't like. I was just gonna say
They're
that.
like,
A lot of
blah,
people
blah,
don't
blah.
like when you say that
But
statement.
it's true. It's so true that you just sometimes need to hear it again. But
Yeah.
I have borrowers coming out, like starting to all come out now, and they're realizing this is the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you
so-
do have to be careful with that saying because you know financially you have to be ready for that.
Absolutely.
You know,
it's true.
so-
It's true. You don't want to take on too much.
Right. And if you feel like it's not the right time, then it's not the right time.
Yep.
You know.
But if you've already, I mean, there's a lot of buyers out there that's already talked to a loan officer. They already kind of know they're
Yeah.
pre-approved. They can handle it, but they're still just kind of holding back. Like, well,
Right.
I'm going to wait.
Right.
And,
we
and
have
do
a
this
lot
when the
of
rate
folks
comes
out
down.
there
So-
right now. They're all
Yeah.
pre-approved, but they're not ready to pull the trigger.
So-
So it's good to have a conversation, get your ducks in a row, try to figure it out where your budget even is, and you hold that piece of paper until you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like actually our first podcast we did, Ashley Humphreys was the agent on. She said the same thing you just said about the 6 million buyers coming
Yeah.
in if the rate drops 1.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Right.
Yeah.
Like how crazy is that to think like that?
And I think there are a lot of people out there that are chomping at the bit,
Yeah.
waiting for the rate to drop so they can get pre-approved because they do want to go.
Yeah.
and
But there's
purchase
also, that's the other thing, and that's why I tell agents too, just let me have a conversation if you have someone
Yeah.
on the fence, because it's not all about the rate. And
Right.
so
Exactly.
when they could also see how we can work their loan to make it be able to, for them
Yeah.
to qualify within their budget, we can work with that loan rate. It's not just this is the rate, that's it,
Right.
so even you don't even need to wait. We
Yeah.
can work with you on maybe buying it down. There's other options out there, and then also, like you mentioned too, like you can refinance in 6 months to a year
Yeah.
if it makes sense for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the thing too. So many buyers, especially someone's first time home buying, they have this mindset that everything's got to be this perfect scenario for them financially, when really, if they would just come sit down with Lord, and just
See what
Just get
options-
information.
because there's
Yeah.
so much out there that I
Yeah.
promise
Yeah.
you don't know
There's
about.
so many
That-
loan
100%.
programs. Yeah.
And then
100%.
if you could get in with and it just makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now in our market, I had a buyer that I was working with that was a referral to me that we asked for a new roof and we got the new roof and got a good deal.
Wow.
And help on the.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of sellers out there that are chomping at the bit. They're
willing to do whatever it
motivated.
takes to get a
And
sale done. Yeah.
I'm telling you, right now is the perfect time
I
to
know.
buy.
There-
It really
it's-
is.
I'm seeing
great.
it all the time. They say, okay, well, they're going to include this and this and this, and they're giving concessions.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things.
Wow.
And even if the borrower has the funds, you could still get concessions.
Absolutely.
I mean, why not? And especially sometimes we use the concessions to even buy down the rate even more, you know, or just buy it down in particular. But there's so many different ways we can work a loan, but each loan is unique to that
To its own.
individual.
Right.
You can't just give a general blanket. Okay, this is what it's unique to the whole individual and
Yeah.
what their circumstances
And a
are.
lot of people are scared to even just have that conversation because they're like, "There's no way I
Right.
can do it."
Yeah.
But
well, they think if their credit's not so great, there's so many times people have come to me and we are able to get them approved because they think it's not great, but we said, well, we can work with this.
Right.
And also I have a lot of people that, again, I say this all the time, but we help people get started, just having a conversation and helping to tell them, not today, but this is what you need to do to get there later on. And then we fix them all up, get them pre-approved and send them on to their agent.
Right. I love that. Okay, cool. So, I don't really like this question, actually. Never mind. It was, how do you define a great buyer? I don't know.
Someone who gives me their documents quickly, fills out your application.
I would agree with that. Someone that's just cooperative.
Right.
Right. Cooperative. Just, yeah.
That's why I didn't really.
That's really all it is.
The thing is,
responsive.
it's a team game.
Right.
If everyone's out for themselves, the buyer's just trying to do themselves. If you have the perfect scenario is the buyer, the sales agent, and the loan originator are all working together as a team to get the deal done. And then once you go under contract, you bring in the closing company and all that, and just everyone working together. It goes so seamless.
Yeah. Right. So cooperative is
and that's what we do. So basically, when I have one of Travis's borrowers, I'll work with them to get them pre-qualified and keep him posted the whole time, saying, okay, here's where we're at, here's where we're at. Then once that happens, then I just hand it off, and then he lets me know when when they find a home, and then we kind of go from there. But in the meantime, we all stay connected. We're always making sure that everybody knows what everybody else is doing, so that no one's sitting there just wondering what's happening. So.
Right. Well, I feel like, Travis, you have a really good mindset or knowledge based on local market right now, what you're seeing going on in the Fort Myers area, probably even all over Southwest Florida.
Yeah.
Would you say? Okay.
Yeah.
So what's going on in our local market right now? What do buyers and sellers need to know that they wouldn't get from just looking it up? I don't know.
What do they need to know? It's as far as sellers, I think we touched on it a little while ago. But
listen to your agent when they advise you.
Trust me, I don't want to sell your property for a really cheap, low price just for fun.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I want to make you the most amount of money I can in the quickest amount of time. So the idea is to let's list it, exactly where it needs to be. Because if we go just a little bit over, it's going to sit.
Right.
And then you're going to have a lot of people coming to look at it, but then they're like, oh, I love it, but the price, and that can hurt you, because if you were just priced right, you could have had a sale.
Absolutely.
Instead, you're months later down the road, you're still sitting there saying, why isn't my house selling?
Yeah.
Because I could tell you, there are a lot of buyers out there that, they may like your house, but it is priced more than they want, and they see it. They're like, this is overpriced. I'd like to put an offer, but the sellers are going to think I'm lowballing them. And a lot of the sales agents are going to be like, that's too low to go in on this. I don't think they're going to take it.
Right. But you never know what the sellers are going to do.
You don't. You never know. It's also, if you were priced where you need to be at the get-go,
you wouldn't have to worry about it.
You wouldn't even have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we're still seeing, actually it's one you helped me with, a client that we purchased a home in San Carlos Park. And we had two other homes we pursued before that there were a couple other offers that came in right at the same time, because the homes are priced where they need to be. Okay. And it ended up being like a little multiple offer situation. Okay. Highest and best. So you're still getting that in some markets if everyone's priced where they need to be. But when you get these homes that are priced,
it's outrageous, some
of them quite a bit more. Yeah, they sit there, and next thing you know, it's like, well, you've been on the market for almost a year. Right, there's a problem here. Either there's something major wrong with the house, or you're overpriced.
Or you're overpriced. Right.
It's usually one of those two things.
Your agent will advise you on that.
Yeah, a good agent should.
Right.
But you can only do so much, because sometimes your sellers are really just stuck on, this is it, this is all I want.
Yeah, right. We've really made it in our office with our agents, like, well, we were interviewing an owner last week, one of our agents, and we decided beforehand it was out of Babcock Ranch, and we're like, we're going to tell him exactly where it needs to be. If he wants a price any higher, he needs to find a different agent, because we're not going to sit on this thing for a year.
Sometimes it's best to do that just to,
So it's,
and they usually come,
where it needs to be.
wind up coming back to you, right? So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you still waiting to hear back or what?
No, because this one actually, he got it.
He got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
See, he listened.
Yeah.
That's good. Because you truly are there for their best interest.
Right. Leave it to the professionals. That's what you
We
do.
can't, we're going to tell you exactly where the market is right now, where the house needs to be priced at. We can't just fib and say, oh, yeah, well, let's go ahead and list it. We'll still have success if we price it 100,000 more. No, you're not going to.
Oh, yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. As much as they would want to, it's not going to work.
Well,
what are you seeing in? I've heard a lot about San Carlos kind of blowing up. Are you seeing anything?
Yeah,
there?
no, I do. San Carlos is still a hot area, just with all the building going on. Alico, Three Oaks. It's right in this. And I always tell people, it's like, what's great about San Carlos, in my opinion, it's right in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can go either way.
You could be in Naples in 20 minutes. You could be
downtown Fort
Fort Myers in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
You literally
Be at the
can
beach.
be. Yeah. You could be. That's just a great location. Plus, you've got FGCU close by.
Right.
You've got just shopping.
There's
Golf
lots of
Coast Town
restaurants,
Center.
shopping, entertainment.
Everything's just
They're
right
building
there.
a brand new another Gulf Coast town center across from Gulf Coast Town Center.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's why it's
Like, it's
becoming more and
blowing
more
up.
It's
popular.
become more and more, especially for a buyer who doesn't want an HOA, or maybe that because of debt to income they can't get
They
that
can't get
HOA
the
payment in.
right.
Yeah.
Man, there's some beautiful homes in San Carlos Park. And it's it's a great location.
Yeah, and you get a home.
Yep.
Instead of like going for a condo.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's great. How are you prepping your listing to stand out in the sea of other homes right now? A lot of selling, so
You've got to social media is always still, it's been that for a while.
It's the thing to do.
It is.
Yeah.
It
Gets
is.
the word
And I'm
out
going to be
fast.
honest, I don't do it enough. But
I see your posts. You post some
Yeah,
pretty good
but
stuff.
I don't do it enough. I could do more. But even just highlighting certain aspects of a property.
Right. Key
Actually, there's
features,
one that I was just thinking of that I might actually go do today, because I'm going to be in that area later this afternoon. Is just going in and doing one little quick video just of the kitchen.
see, he's always on the go.
So
always.
But I'm thinking I'm going to try that with that one, just to get it out there. But then, I know with a lot of them, open houses have been slow.
Right.
Really slow. I mean, a lot of the agents
I've been
have
hearing
pretty
that.
discouraged with that, and that's with marketing it and a lot of signage and everything.
Yeah.
And it's still just like you
Yeah.
get some nosy neighbors. But
I
it's
think people. Do you agree? Like, because for me, I'm also helping someone just kind of look for a house. It's a family member, so it's not like for me, but. I like a visual, so I love when agents put on like the 360s or when they do the walkthroughs. I love those, because then I'll point it out to the person and I'll say, hey, look at this, and they're like, okay, go look at that one and that one for me. You know what I mean? Because you're getting such a good visual. Then you really want to go see it in person. Sometimes people don't want to drive around and waste their Saturday or Sunday, which I get.
Yeah.
Unless they've already seen it online that they're like, this might be the one.
Right, let's go check that out.
I
And
find it
I've
challenging
noticed
for open houses.
Do you do
yeah.
that? I think you do the thing where it's like you do the 360 camera.
we have two Matterport cameras.
Okay.
Which is like a 360 where you can create a whole dollhouse image of a house.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
cool.
We have a lot of photographers have it, but we just bought a couple.
Okay.
Because it's really easy to use. You have an iPad,
and you can do
got
it yourself.
Yeah, it takes a little time. But if it's a small 3.2, 1,600 square feet, you're done in like 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
But
It's like a
just
3D
nice,
of the
yeah,
home.
it'll create a link. You could create a YouTube. You could share the link on through MLS, Zillow, all that stuff.
Okay.
Right.
So that's one thing we do.
Yeah.
On listings, and it does it
Help
creates
gets
nice
the word
photos
out
also.
when you're online. It helps get the word out.
Absolutely.
And you just share it, and
Yeah.
I try to help too with sharing some posts for for houses or even open houses. But I do agree love the videos.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
it's
And I've noticed
huge.
a lot more agents lately
doing them.
Are doing walkthrough quick videos.
They are,
Yes.
and some of them are really funny. I love them.
They make a skit out of it.
Yeah,
I have
It's
a couple of favorites that I
There's
watch.
one dude out there. I don't know the name.
We won't say any
where
names.
he like literally like runs through the house.
Yes,
He'll do
I
like
know.
a walkthrough in like a few seconds.
Yes, like speed
He's
tour.
running like
He's
sliding
the
through a
speed tour
room.
guy.
Yeah,
Yes,
the speed
yeah.
tour guy.
He's
so
so
get
funny.
creative.
Yeah.
That
You know,
is
it's-
good. That's what you need to do. You get creative because
Yeah.
you catch people's eye. It's funny, interesting, and they're enjoying looking at
Yeah.
the home that you're
Yeah.
presenting. So
Yeah, that guy's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're trying to up our social media game too.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone's always trying to work at it. It's something that you have to be creative with and post consistently, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so it could be very time consuming for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
But honestly, yes and no. If you put too much time into it, that's on you. You can actually do 30 minutes to even 45 minutes every morning or whatever time slot you have,
Right.
and just commit
Yeah.
to doing that.
Yeah.
And then you can also set certain things. You can take videos, and then you can just save them, and you can even schedule them to be sent out, so you get like a week or two a break in between.
Yeah.
Right.
So
This
that
is
you're
true.
still being
Yeah, that's kind of what
relevant.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of doing.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, absolutely.
Like, we
but
film a bunch
it's
of stuff,
work, but you gotta like figure out and time block
Yeah.
for it.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you wish out of town buyers understood about our market before they start shopping here? Kind of generic, because I know every situation's different. They all have different opinions or whatever. But a generic, broad overview. Like, what do you think they need to know before they come?
I think. I think.
I always love when the question.
We don't have a subway.
We don't have a subway. I think like I wish they would understand about our market before they get here. Is that
Yes.
Okay? So I think maybe this contradicts a couple things I've said. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them think, because of our current market, I'm gonna come in there and I'm going to get a really, really great deal and really low ball, even ones that are priced right where they need to be, because the owners antsy. And I have seen, while there are a lot of listings out there that are overpriced, the ones that are right where they need to be, you're still getting some people coming in and giving really low offers. And I get it. You're trying to get a deal.
Right.
Absolutely
Right.
get it.
Negotiating,
But I guess a lot of that comes down to even just us as agents, though, like preparing that potential buyer with what to expect. Share the stats, share everything that's going on in our,
Because their market where they live is
It's
completely
totally
different from how Florida works.
we get
right.
like some of my clients who that are selling their properties down here that are, say, in Toronto, Canada. That market's like fire.
Really?
At times. And,
Wow.
and I think it is right now, really. Like when they list some, it's
It's
going
gone.
up. But it's different down here. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I know you're selling your property in Toronto for that, but it's different here in Fort Myers right now, or Estero or wherever.
Yeah.
So just getting them to understand, like, just because we're on the same globe doesn't
Right.
mean the market's going to be the same.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
And even the homes are different. I mean,
Yes.
some
And
And
people
you're coastal here.
I hear
Yeah.
some northern people also complain about the electric stoves, and
Yes.
they're like, "Where's the gas?" And it's like
We're on,
we
like,
have
sea
it, but not
level,
everywhere. And
basically.
it's kind of like it. That's one of the things that and the water like.
Yeah.
So when they're looking at a home and they're just like, "What's that?"
And this is just from a client I'm currently working with right now that she'd had some hesitation on a lot of the 2-story homes down here are concrete block first floor, wood frame second floor. And that really bothered
like
her that
that,
it
okay.
wasn't all concrete block because she's worried about hurricanes and
Right.
stuff. And just getting past the steps, like, well, it's still built up to code. This thing's going
right.
to still withstand a hurricane.
Right.
Just learning just the building technology that goes on down there
Yeah.
and whatnot. Just being comfortable with that. Like,
Yeah. I've been also hearing that like new construction isn't as great as it used to be. Yeah, do you agree? It's
Well,
not bad to say, but
It's just like cars.
Right.
Cars used to build so much better,
Yeah.
and now they're made out of
You know
like
what?
plastic.
That reminds me, because I was just
Yeah.
having a conversation with someone a couple days ago. who was like, she was an older generation, and then you have my generation. She's like, I don't get your generation. Like when I was your age, we'd get a piece of like a couch, and that couch would last us 30 years. We'd have no desire to get you different. We'd get a car and it last us 30 years. We'd have no desire to get a different one. And she's like, why do you guys, you just get tired of your stuff like within a couple years? I'm like, well, it's not that. It's just, it's not built the same.
It's not built the same.
My grandmother
They
had a
built
couch
it to break.
that she had like forever.
Yeah.
And it was ugly.
Yeah.
Did it have plastic on it?
No, it did not.
Okay.
It was like this
Cover
floral
over it,
60s design.
Okay.
But you know what? It was built to last.
Right.
And there's not a doubt in my mind, if she was still alive today and still had her house, that couch would probably still be there.
Yeah. Right.
Because it was so solid.
Yeah.
But a couch you go by today, sorry, I just said that. A couch you go by today may last you like 3 years before it's breaking
I know.
down.
Right.
Same with cars. What are they?
Yeah,
There's a lot of
cars.
plastic on them and stuff
There
like
is,
that.
it's just
They're
plastic.
not going to
Or
last.
like iPhones. I feel like all phones. They literally give an update. I swear, I know this is a conspiracy theory, but I swear that the updates ruin your phone.
I think you're right.
And then you have to get a new phone. That's why I don't even update my phone anymore. Because I have kind of an older phone, like 3 years old. Yeah. And I don't update it, and it's fine. I don't have the problem.
Yeah, it's they don't make it like they used to. I think, and it goes for, and not a knock on any builder out there.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
No, but just
But it's if some of these big national builders are knock out a home, they'll fill up a community, and their homes take like sometimes as little as like 4 months.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be interviewing a builder soon, so we'll ask some of those fun questions.
Some of it's pretty quick. Like you go in, it's like, wow, look at the drywall work or whatever, and it's like
those are some of them.
Not all of them. There are some great builders,
and there are some great.
There are some
not all of them.
Absolutely amazing builders.
But I guess what we're basically saying is like we're not only finding it in homes and new construction, we're finding it with everything new.
Absolutely,
and it's been that way for years.
Yeah.
And it's just not all builders are like that.
Yeah.
So find the best builder.
So that we're going to do a myth buster on that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Someone should start that.
One of our episodes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of a controversial topic, but anyway. From a real estate perspective, how do you use a pre-approval when negotiating? And now I guess this question doesn't really work anymore because now it's like law, or is that what it is now? It's like requirement now? Or what?
Like a pre-approval?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of owners are going to request a pre-approval with any offer they get. They want to see a proof of funds. They want to make sure
it's not required, but they want to see it because they want to know if they're a real like genuine buyer that's gonna their loan is gonna get approved. I even had an agent call me and ask me to double check that I issued it. Yeah. But those are like gold for the real estate agent, because it's like, if I could just hand those out to Travis, he'll just know where to go and, for that particular borrower, because if without it, there's no way for you to tell what.
No, it's true. I mean,
it's like you're in the dark.
Yep. Yeah. I could go out and say, I want to buy this, $10 million home, and I could put an offer in, and unless I have something to back that up,
right.
It's worth nothing, really.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So it's just that it builds the confidence in the seller,
right?
Especially if they can call, the loan originator like Lori and be like, hey, because I do that with on my listings. If I get an offer and I'll see the pre-approval,
you want to see
call
the LO,
the LO. I'm like, hey, tell me about this buyer. Right. Did you do credit pull? Did you check that income already? Did you do income verification?
You have buyers agents or seller agents calling you as well?
Yeah. So and well, that's that's exactly what we do, because there are some places that will give a pre-qualification letter and it's just based off what the borrower told them.
Yes.
We don't do that. We go through everything first. We get all the documents, we verify income, we look at the credit, we do all of that up front, and then you get that letter. So it does say pre-qualification on it, but it's kind of like almost pretty much a pre-approval. But the thing is, that's when you're handed that from me, that's what it is. Now, the only thing that's going to mess that up is if, there's something with the house, like, you need extra flood, or you need flood, or HOAs are too high, and stuff like that. But basically, those are what I've found every agent wants before they even think about taking a borrower out to look.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's where a lot of
you're running in
get
circles, if
themselves
not. Yeah.
in just a mess, because they'll go out. We have a policy that we, if a buyer comes in here, we want to get them with LO quickly to find out.
Yeah.
So we're not
That's
out
the
looking
start.
at $500,000 homes when we really need to be focused on $300,000 homes, because we can't get approved for that.
Right.
Or it's the other way. It's like, well, we're looking at these 300, but man, we could be looking.
You could go
at,
a little bit higher.
your payment,
right.
you could easily handle this payment. Let's look at these.
Right.
It's just.
I had a borrower that came to me, and I felt so bad because they came to me. They already put an offer in without getting a. Well, they got pre-qualified from another lender, and so they just wanted a second look. And when I did it, they were close, very close, but it was not, so that deal fell through. But that's why you need to start with that. That's what everyone needs to start with.
You got to start there.
Yeah.
You do, just so you have a game plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't go into, I'm a sports junkie too. I love watching sports. Hockey and football are my two favorites.
Nice.
But you don't go into a football game without a game plan.
Right.
You know what I mean? It'd be stupid.
Coach is going to go in
Yeah.
with nothing. Yeah. Right.
You
Where do I
know,
go?
it's you've got to have a game plan. It's the same with real estate. You've got to have.
Yeah, or
a game
somebody
plan.
was telling me the other day, you don't go into the grocery store without knowing what's in your bank account.
Yeah.
You know what
Right.
happens when I go in the
Yeah.
grocery
Or you
store
have some
without a
idea
list.
why you're there.
Or it's like
Yeah.
going to the grocery store when you're hungry. It's the worst.
Well, don't
Worst.
do that. Yeah, that's
Worst.
terrible.
I
Don't
know.
do that.
Okay, so I want to jump into something different. I came up with an idea of maybe doing scenarios.
Yeah.
And then, asking you what you would do in that situation. Okay. So the first one is you're both working with a buyer who seemed eager, but then suddenly stops responding after going under contract.
Oh, after going under
After going
contract.
under contract.
That's the twist.
You're a week into escrow. LO can't get docs. Agents' texts are being left on red. The time's ticking. What's your approach when communication goes cold during a transaction?
A lot of it is I'm still trying to reach out to them, touch base with them, one way or the other, whether it's, if they're not phone, email, text, trying to meet them if I know where they work or something, maybe trying to make, but I also want them to know like the seriousness, like if they've put
You're going to lose your
down in
earnest
escrow, it's
money.
like, you're going to lose that earnest money.
Right.
And I've had throughout the years a couple that wasn't
didn't
quite
really care, yeah.
clicking.
Really?
And it's like, you're going to lose that. And I make sure I get that all, I have that all in written
gotta
form.
document it, right.
Document it, because I don't want them coming like, well, I didn't know I was going to lose my $10,000.
That's why email or text is great.
Yeah.
So
trail.
I try as often as I can, numerous times, in written form, so that they know if I've lost communication where I can't even physically talk to them.
There's a paper trail somewhere, right?
Paper trail, emails, text messages, to where I could be like, this is how many times I reminded you.
Has this ever happened to you before?
You know what? There was one. I think it's probably been a couple that I'm not thinking of, but I'm remembering one that it was in Babcock Ranch with a builder. And it was they kind of weren't taking it
They
serious.
got cold feet, maybe?
They kind of got cold. This was years ago. This is probably 2017, 18, somewhere in there. But they, I was like, you're going to lose and they put down 25,000. I remember.
Holy cow.
Wow.
And it ended up, it was kind of a weird thing. They ended up like saying, okay, we will sign that we want out and we're going to lose our money. We had talked to them numerous times. Like, this is what you're dealing with.
Something
here.
really must have happened that they could not.
There was some personal
go
stuff
back.
going on.
Okay.
Not like health or anything, but like
Yeah.
some other personal stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And on that one, he's like, the buyer was like, I will sign this and give all the funds, to the seller.
Wow.
That's crazy.
But I have one request. Can I have this certain clock that's hanging up in that model that I liked? And the seller
Holy
was
cow.
like, the builder was like, yeah.
So he
Like, have
basically
it.
paid like
It was
what?
like a.
Probably cost him
it
$100.
wasn't even that great of a clock. It was weird, but
It's like
everyone was
25
happy
grand for a
that-
Yeah.
clock, basically.
But
or?
it becomes a stressful situation
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you know what? Like with when you have a client, a lot of them become friends.
Yes.
A lot of them, and you just want to see them happy. You want them to see them be successful. You want, and you have a lot of heart into it.
Right.
To where it becomes a stressful situation, sleepless nights and whatnot. And you're just like, so you want them to be happy, but you don't want them to. I have a fear of my clients losing money.
Right.
It's like.
Absolutely.
So right at the get-go, when we go under contract, it's like, here's the dates.
Right.
Like, let's
These
all
are the
be on the same page.
Right.
Yeah.
Make sure
Here's
we get
the
all
dates.
this. Yeah.
You've got to have your earnest money in on this by this third day. You've got whether it's 15-day inspection or whatnot. After that inspection period, like I'm constantly keeping them updated.
Right.
Because I don't want there to be any confusion.
Right.
Right.
Like.
And I deal with the paperwork side. If they don't get it back to the underwriter, then I'm notified and then I give them a little nudge.
And sometimes it's if you've lost contact. I mean, you don't know. It could be something personal going on in their life.
Right.
And sometimes it's like, hey, I'm here to talk to you.
Right.
I'll hold your hand through this process.
Right.
If it's not the right fit, if it's not the right timing, let's back out right now.
Right.
Exactly.
No hard feelings.
Don't lose your money.
Yeah.
I never had it done after it was already under contract. Just before, like, meaning
They might have.
just kind of like crickets about like just wanting to move forward. That kind of thing happens, but not.
After contract is tricky though. That's why I was like,
that's kind of like if you do that.
Yeah, it's and a lot of it is just being having that sit down with your client.
We'll set expectations from the beginning, right?
Like, hey, this is
the timeline,
and to remind them, because you'll get some people that even though it's an actual legal binding contract, they still treat it like it's nothing. Like, no, your signature's on here.
Right.
You're promising
to
put this much money down, to pay this much on this date, to close on this property.
Right. Yeah.
And you can get in some trouble.
And so, because so many people are counting on you now, and especially the seller who's like now saying, okay, I'm going to sell to you, and then you back out, and now they have to start all over again. And that's time, money, just, emotional stress, everything. So
yeah, tricky. Yeah. All right. Last scenario.
Yeah.
Let's say you have shown these buyers over 10 homes, and they have now found their dream home. Mm-hmm. So you've been on the search, and now they finally found the one.
I think he just did that recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. They absolutely love it. Okay, but the inspection turns up something's big. Maybe a bad foundation, major roof issue, something big. But these buyers still love this home and don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. From your side, what's your next steps in the situation? How do you help them evaluate if it's a fixable or like a fatal?
So one is just getting, let's say it is something with foundation, or it's just a big costly item.
Yeah.
But they still just love the place. Mm-hmm. I'm going to appreciate the fact that they still love the place and whatnot, but I'm also just going to say, okay, we can continue pursuing this, but now we need to get, whether it's contractor, engineer, or something like that, if it's foundation, let's get some quotes, because sometimes that'll end up changing their mind if they're like, oh, this is going to cost me $20,000.
Right.
Yeah.
But then if they're still, after you do, more inspections and whatnot, getting quotes, and if they're still interested, then you just come with a scenario. You know what? Let's go to the owner and ask, hey, this clearly has some cracks in the foundation. There's some foundation problems. This is what it's going to cost to repair it. We're asking for credit or to be repaired, and just see what happens.
So you can use it as a bargaining tool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it doesn't need to be, you always want to be honest with your client, tell them the pros and cons. And if there's something major, don't be scared to tell them, like, look, this could get very costly. This is and if you don't do anything, this is what the outcome could be in a few years. Be upfront with them, and if they're still into it and they still that's what they want, then you pursue the owners. But then there could be some owners that are like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Then you just have to have the honest, and then like we said earlier, document.
Yeah.
Make sure they understand. Like, okay, this is what I'm I'm going to do this knowing it needs this.
Right.
But I'm still going to pursue it.
Yeah.
Right. And then now later
know,
on, that's on
Just
you. But
the deal is be honest with your clients.
Yeah.
Don't
right.
be scared don't tiptoe around it thinking, well, I just really want this closing. So
don't just...
Yeah.
I'll still push
right.
it.
I don't even care. Or whatever.
Because it's a
Yeah.
long-term relationship too. You don't
Yeah.
want to do that to them, and then they're stuck holding the bag on
Yep.
something, and now you're feeling bad because you just,
Yep.
Yeah.
So I agree. Like, just be honest, be upfront.
That's really good to know too, that you could use that as a bargaining tool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then get a lower price or whatever you know.
There's so many
negotiate.
different things
So
you
many
can
different
work
things.
into
Yeah.
the whole.
absolutely.
to the
And I
whole-
mean, from an LO perspective, I know you already kind of touched on that, but like what if they come to you and say, will this affect like financing or insurance? Like,
Some things can. It depends on what actually needs to be fixed or whatever what the issue is, because some loans cannot be approved with certain structural things that are
Right.
going on in the house. Like it will be so foundation for sure. It could be windows. It could be the roof.
Right.
The home has to be functional and working order, and that's all good to know that's on the inspection. But that's when the agent goes over it, and then we kind of, if there's something wrong, we talk about that too. But and then there's some things that are wrong with it and that needs to be done that are easy fixes, like fixing a GFCI or putting shutters on there or whatever. So certain things to be done.
That's because you'll see that too. You'll get some buyers that you'll have it inspected, and there's a lot of things, but it's a lot of little things.
right.
Tiny
like
little
GFI
things.
outlets in the kitchen. just little things. The
Yeah,
kitchen,
collarants or
the
something.
bathroom sink is dripping.
Right.
It's little things.
Such
it's like
little things.
and they're intimidated. Like, oh my goodness, look at all these things. It's like a full page at the end of the inspection report that says
Right.
all these things. I was like, no, let's just
Go through
Go
it.
through
just walk
them
through
and
it.
see
Right,
what
right.
they are.
and see. And that's a lot of that too. Talking about having a team together is having a good inspector that you trust and whatnot. That will just
Right.
sit down. Some of my favorite
just go
inspectors,
over it with
they will
you,
sit down
right.
and they'll be like, "Look, I do have these on here, but this is really all you need to do.
Right.
This is this, and it's
not gonna cost you a
Just
bunch,
letting them know, and you can still go to the seller and try to ask for credit or something, or items be
Or the
repaired,
sellers
or
will
just-
fix it, get the
Yeah.
invoice, submit the invoice, they
Yeah.
fix it. But I always say that for any seller, to just go around your house by yourself. I mean, put the
Or
new
get it
light
inspected
bulb
yourself,
in.
yeah.
Make sure you fix that leak if there's there. Fix
Right.
the outlet cover that's
Yeah.
cracked. I mean, you
It's
can do a lot of
absolutely,
things
yeah.
to
Yep.
before the inspector comes in
And
there.
it often helps a seller to, get your inspector in there beforehand. Do an inspection.
True,
report,
you could just
and go ahead and
do your
repair.
own inspection.
That way, it's more seamless once you go under contract.
They
Right.
come
A lot
in,
of
and their
those little
inspector's
things are
all
done.
like, "Ooh, this is a great place," and
Yeah.
you're like, "Yay!"
Yeah, but we kind of said this earlier. Like we give the advice. Hopefully
They could
Absolutely.
take it, right? Exactly.
Hopefully they listen.
It's only like $300, $400, $500 maybe for an inspector.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's
So
worth it
3 to
because you're
5
selling at
and-
home.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, just get it done.
And I wanted to ask you, Lori, what's your take on the current market right now? Like, is it cooling, balancing, heating up? What is your take on it?
So my take on it is what I'm hearing from all different sources. But what I'm seeing too is we are seeing the rates already start to come down. They're, and then we'll have our day where they're
We're actually the lowest we've been all year.
yes,
Right now.
and then we'll get a day where they kind of
Go up a little bit.
go up a little bit, but we're basically seeing them coming down, and so we're gradually going towards the end of the year. We're hoping to see a little bit more of that trickling down
Yeah.
effect, and then in 2026 we're hearing it's going
Even better
to even
for
better
rates.
for rates are going to be even better. So
Yeah.
it's kind of moving. It's a little bit slower move, but it's finally moving.
Yeah, I know.
We've been
stuck for a
stuck
little
for
bit.
so long, and so many people sitting on the sidelines waiting. So no, I think it's a great time, and I could tell by how buyers are loosening up too. Now, just kind of when I revisit with them, they say, you know what, I think I'm ready now. And even borrowers that couldn't qualify, I'm able to qualify now because the rates are more, it just better fits their loan scenario, and they can get a little more home
Right.
for what, it's in their budget there. So,
Right.
so it's definitely
Getting better.
optimistic. Yes.
Right, optimistic, yeah. And the news is saying that the Fed should be cutting the rate next month. We'll see if that happens, but that doesn't always even affect the mortgage rates either.
Correct. It doesn't always. So,
So-
just because the Fed lowers rates doesn't always mean that we're going to see it on the mortgage side.
Right.
I always say, the news is going to confuse everybody. Just
Right.
talk to, me or Travis, whatever. But
Yeah.
mostly, with when it comes to the financing part of it, just talk to a lender, because we're the ones who are in it, and we can actually see the effects of it. So just
Right.
don't rely on the news, because the news is just going to take you one way or the other. So
And what's some tips that you do to try to coach buyers on setting realistic expectations, especially with the news, like you said, and telling you that stuff, or even the social media hacks that's not true? And
all that.
is there kind of a
stuff
thing that you would say that you do for buyers that?
Well, so right from the beginning and the initial loan consultation, we talk about their, like I mentioned before, but their goals, and kind of where they want to where they're at right now, and where they want to kind of be going forward. And so I also talk to them about making sure that they don't make any financial changes while we're going through this process, because anything you do can affect your loan. Even if you get you pre-qualified and then you make a change that's drastic, that could just null and void the qualification.
Right.
The other thing is giving them a home buyer guide to kind of give them expectation of the timeline of how everything works when you're first buying a home. But I always tell them to give me a call. We're going to go through it together the whole time, but give me a call if you have any questions. And I have had borrowers always just call me even before we even went to pre-qualification, just because they said, oh, I have to pay this blah blah blah, can I use my credit, you know what I mean? So I said, whoa, thank you for calling me and letting me know that, but yes, that's fine. Or, oh no, don't do that, so I always say, just if anything that's major, give us a call. That's how I set them up, so that they can succeed and we can get to the closing without any issues.
Right. Yeah. And we've been saying this whole time, talk to someone that knows what they're doing,
Right.
And then you'll get your answer. So,
Right.
I always like to do something fun where we do a rapid fire questions, and you have 2 seconds to answer.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. Ready? Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
Energy drink.
Really?
I changed it recently.
know.
I recently changed it. I'm on board.
Celsius. She's obsessed with Celsius.
I
now.
don't know.
Yeah.
Is that the one that had alcohol in it?
No, no, I don't drink that one.
The high noon problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard
saw
about that after. I'm like, did I
know,
drink one
I
of
know.
those in the day? Oh my God.
Yeah, High Noon accidentally put the wrong cover on it or something.
like that.
I mean,
know.
I'm not going to say that I didn't drink one, because I don't think I did.
I know.
So,
No,
who knows?
it was a certain pack. You
Yeah.
were fine.
All right.
Calls or text?
Text.
Text typically, unless it's going to be a really long conversation. Then
Okay.
it's a speakerphone conversation. Or text. Yeah, for sure.
I'm a call. I know, Gen Z likes to text all the time, and that's the thing. But I like call.
I'm just on the phone so much during the day. Just
Yeah.
text me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Okay.
I've a lot of ups and downs in my life of changing this whole thing, but I prefer early bird now. I like to get up early, get a good start of the day. So when it's noon, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's already, or it's only noon.
Right.
Yeah.
And you feel like, you
And
got
I
a
still
lot
have the
done.
rest of the day.
Zillow or Realtor.com?
Realtor.com.
I'm gonna say Zillow.
You're going to say Zillow?
All right.
Because, it's the...
Yeah, I know.
Us, in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
industry, we know.
I don't know.
But, for people that are looking...
I still
feel
look
like-
at Zillow.
Oh, I do too.
I don't hate Zillow.
Yeah, I don't hate either one.
Yeah.
I don't hate either one.
Yeah. But we have our own tools that are better.
Yes, absolutely.
I use both of them.
Right. Beach house or mountain cabin?
Mountain cabin.
I knew it.
Beach house.
Beach house, yes. I knew that one. I would do beach house too. Dream client or dream listing?
Dream listing.
Okay.
Well, I don't
you
have
don't do
any
listings.
listings.
Sorry,
yeah.
that's more
Dream
realistic.
client.
Okay. Sorry, that was only Travis one.
That was a trick question for me.
What is your go-to closing gift?
I have one.
Okay.
Gosh, it's always different with every client.
Right.
Do
I
you
feel
do
like
it
it's
towards
unique.
like what their personality is and what they like, and do you do it for that? Yeah.
Some of my clients have been, young guys. Like there were a couple of guys that I helped recently that were young guys that very hands-on whatnot. It's like I know what they're going to want. They're going to be going to to Home Depot now. So I'm getting Home
that's
Depot
right.
gift cards. They love it.
So yours
That's
is directed
cool.
more towards
What they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
the
Everyone's
buyer, like,
different.
who is-
like
yeah.
some that I closed a couple months ago. They love to go out and eat. They love to just do all that. So I'm like, I'm going to focus on that.
Yeah.
Right. So gift card too,
Like
somewhere
the
fun to go
Flemings
eat.
with all
I usually
the
end up going to a gift card. Maybe that's cheesy of me or something, but that's typically what I end up doing.
gift cards.
No, I think
like
people
just a
like
handwritten
that.
card
Right.
and a gift card.
Yeah.
If I opened up an envelope and it had like a $250, because that's what you have to put.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, that's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer a gift card as well.
Yeah.
I think because you could just go buy whatever you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
At whatever store. What's your go-to?
Sorry, I think I'm just kind of boring, but good old cutting board, personalized
I like
cutting
a cutting
board.
board.
Yeah.
I love it too. I mean, even though, you might have a cutting board array, but they do get, wonky and you have to get rid of them sometimes. But I love cutting boards too, but personalized is even nicer.
Even better.
So yeah.
And that's something you'd keep for a long time.
It's a keepsake, yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have to actually use it if you want to. You could put it up I have someone that has it on their thing. It's nice and personalized. But those you can always use. I mean, who doesn't love a good cutting board?
I love a cutting board. I use it every day.
Yeah.
Pretty much. If you got one superpower for your job, what would it be?
You can answer, Travis, because I think he asked me this before and I don't even know what I said.
Golly.
I do remember what you said.
A superpower. That's a tough one. I'm supposed to answer this in 2 seconds, and I'm already like
I know,
10 seconds
it's
in.
kinda already real fast.
I was going to say, do you want to like clone yourself so there's more of you to do more work?
maybe something like that.
That's what you said before. That's
Or
what you said.
I think not needing sleep.
Okay.
Because you know what? I always say, like, okay, when the kids go down for bed or whatnot, I'm going to do a little work.
Because it's quiet.
But half the time, I'm almost asleep when they fall asleep.
Right.
Because I get up early.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I haven't set an alarm clock in years. I just automatically wake up at some point between 5 and 6.
Okay.
I will just wake up and I get up.
Right.
That's my
You're done.
time.
I like your
Everyone's asleep.
superpower. I wish I had
That's
that one.
actually a really
That's a
good
good
one.
one. I'm
That's
going
a
to use
really
that one
good
next time.
Yeah. Because that makes sense. You could just keep going all day.
Yeah. If I did not need to sleep.
Yeah. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
You need it.
You'd be
It's
dead
very
sooner or
important.
later.
we need sleep and brain breaks too.
Yeah, it's extremely important.
Yeah.
Last one. Worst piece of advice you've heard in your industry? This doesn't have to be a 2-second one. It takes a
Worst
minute.
piece of advice
Yeah.
I've heard in the industry.
And I said your because
Yeah.
it's the same, but it's, for more. It could be advice when you were starting that you turned out to be way false later, or you've heard someone tell and you're like, that's wrong. No.
I mean, go ahead. You could go.
You know what? I'm going to go back to something we've been talking about, and I think I've heard it multiple times. I guess it's not advice I've heard others give. It's advice I've heard others give. Listing agents saying, yes, I'll take that listing, even if I'll just price it where you want to price it. It'll sell. Is that advice? No, maybe that's not advice.
It's not advice, but that's kind of like just giving
This is a
bad
good one.
information.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's
just
kind of
giving
like
bad
pressure or...
I actually just got one recently
What's yours?
and I'm sure there's so many more that I can't think about right off the top of my head, but there's one recently that just I thought of because it was, let's say, a borrower, they need credit improvement for sure, but they were told by another lender to just get a co-borrower. And I said, that's not good advice, because if your score is not where it needs to be, you're just, that other person is not going to do nothing for you.
Isn't it, do they take the medium? of
Always the
both?
lowest,
Or the lowest.
the middle of the
Yes.
lowest.
Okay.
So that was really bad advice that they got. And I said, no, absolutely not. Let's fix you up first, and then we'll go,
Yeah, because it's not like signing on a car, because a car is a little different, obviously.
But for a mortgage is, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So that was bad advice.
I can't think of one.
Yeah, I mean, you might not be able to.
You never can think of one, but later on you'll think of it.
I'll drive later a little while, but that's it. Or I'll hear something. Like, that is terrible
Wait,
advice.
that's the worst advice I ever heard.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's a tricky question,
Well,
it is really.
There are things always getting thrown out there, and people are saying different things, different opinions, but, you do the best you can to be educated, to be able to give out the best advice that you can, and you shouldn't give out advice if you don't know the answer.
You might. It could be something so new to the industry that
then you say, you know what? Let me check that out for you first, and
Yeah.
then make sure I give you the right answer.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
I always say that.
Yeah.
If you don't know, I'm not going to just throw something out there. I'm going to say always.
I'm
really,
gonna have to double check, because I'm not 100%
Yep.
sure.
Yeah, that's extremely important.
Yeah, I'm not giving out bad info. I mean, not on purpose anyway. I mean, obviously.
Right. All right, I think we'll wrap it up.
All right,
there.
well, thanks, Travis.
Yeah, thank you
We had
for
fun
having
today.
me.
This
That
was
was fun.
awesome. Yeah, I really appreciate you taking time to come and do this.
No problem.
It was fun.
All right, we'll do it again soon. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Infinity Loop Podcast.
If you'd like to see our other episodes, please check out our channel and don't forget to hit subscribe.